Hello. So it's the 11th of March. So we're 12 days before I'm due to go in and have my surgery. There's not really much of a reason for me coming on and talking. Just really a bit of a natter. I'm still absolutely fine. Really, I say positive, but that just sounds like, I don't know, all wishy-washy and fluffy and everything else. But I'm not really thinking about it, in fairness. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes the odd thought comes into my head, and like I was showing one of my best friends, or letting her have a cop a feel of my lump today, just because so many people don't realise how little they can be. I think a lot of people think it's going to be quite obvious, and as we've already said with mine, it's really not. It's very, very small, and actually it's not tender. I've said it already way back at the beginning that the only reason I found mine is because I felt an area and it felt almost like a bruise, so I had a prod and a poke and like wondering why it felt bruised, and that was the only reason that brought my attention to it. I don't know why it was a little bit tender at that time. It's not now, and actually I struggle to find it now that the tenderness has gone, and it just makes me think, if that tenderness wasn't there, I wouldn't have found it, because there's no indication, and that's really scary in its own. And again, just makes me appreciate how lucky I was in finding it. So again, lots to be thankful for in respects to that. And I've been asking myself why possibly I'm not falling to bits, because it's quite amusing. People, they talk to me, I'm still getting a little bit of a concerned head tilt, which I don't begrudge anyone for it, because I think that's quite a natural thing to do. I don't know why me and my friend were discussing why people go, "You're all right," do the head tilt. I don't know why it is, but most people are being absolutely fine, because I did state in my post and everything else that I don't want the sympathy, I don't want the pity looks and things like that. Just carry on, business as usual. But I do keep asking myself, and analysing, I think is a better word, analysing why I'm so detached from it, which is a bit weird, because I'm naturally like that. When like shit things happen, as inevitably they do in life, I'm very good at detaching myself from it. And I used to think that was a big problem, but several years ago now, I was talking to someone, and it actually dawned on me that it's not a problem. It's actually a really good thing, because it doesn't do me any harm. It's not like I pent it up and it all builds up or anything like that. That's just my coping mechanism. I'm able to disassociate. I'm able to detach myself from it. So I do, again, thank my lucky stars that is how I am, because to have that constant source of worry, yeah, that would be unbearable. So I can't really give any advice or tips about how to be like that. But one thing I would say is mindfulness is a really, really good thing to do. And when I say mindfulness, I don't mean mindfulness as in, which it can be, but I'm not necessarily talking about mindfulness as in like meditation or anything like that. By all means, if that is your bag, then brilliant, go for it. But for me, mindfulness is bringing myself into the present and focusing on what is going on now. And that's a really good way of sort of like grounding yourself. If you notice that your thoughts are starting to run wild, or anxiety, or or worry or anything like that. It's just a really good method. And the way I do it is it's very practical. So I don't know if I said this in one of the videos, but so for example, the other day, I could feel myself going, I think I possibly did. I apologise for repeating myself. And I could feel myself sort of like starting to worry. It's mainly when I'm driving for some reason, sort of like, I don't know why, but that sort of like seems to be the time where my thoughts start taking over a little bit, and the worry starts creeping in. And I decided, right, I need to nip this in the bud. I need to put a lid on this before it escalates, and because I don't want it to go crazy. So I was very focused, and this again is my way of doing mindfulness. I'm just focusing on what was going on at that moment. So literally I was driving, I was like, okay, I'm driving, I can feel the steering wheel, I can see the road ahead of me, and just ahead of that, the road bends. So what am I doing at the moment? I am driving. That is what I'm doing at this very moment. The road is about to bend round. There's a red car that's just gone past, and in the distance I can see a green car. As I go around this bend, I can see that there's a field on my left hand side, and there's some sheep and some lambs in that field, and lambs are cute, and lambs show it's the beginning of spring and it's a new beginning and this and that. The sun's shining at the moment. I'm going to be turning right again just any second, and it's very much like that. It's very much keeping it very focused on here and now, not looking any further forward than the immediate situation that you're in. And because all of your attention is on that, because you're opening up your senses to much more of what is actually current and what is going on, it stops you from having those thoughts, because your brain, your mind can only focus on so many things at once. And if you push it into focusing on what is going on here and now, the other things will vanish. And hopefully by the time you finish doing that, it would have de-escalated the thoughts in the first place. Because we all know that if we have a negative thought or a bad thought or a scary thought or a worried thought, whatever you want to call it, and we layer another one on top of that, it's very quickly making that issue bigger. And a lot of the time, obviously, it's a big issue. We got cancer. That is a big issue. But a lot of our worries and fears are about things that might happen, worst case scenarios. And in all honesty, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, yes, the most horrific, worst possibilities could happen, but likewise, there might be a turn, we might get lucky. And that's as simple as it is. And we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen next week, next year, in 10 years' time. But if you are focusing, or not, and I'm not saying deliberately, but if your mind is there sort of like in that possible future, and it's not a good possible future, then bring it back, draw it right back, not just to the next sort of like 24 hours or the next hour even. Bring it back to that very moment, the seconds that you are living at that very moment. And I find that really helps. So just a little tip there, and that works in all forms of everything, not just when you've got cancer. It works for absolutely everything. But I just thought I would come on, say hi and share. I'm a little bit sleepy because I've been running and cold today. So I just thought I would share that. All right, you all take care, and I will see you. Kids are off next week. We're going into our family isolation in prep for not catching COVID. In prep for the op, so that's going to be fun. Homeschooling, not my favourite thing, not my forte whatsoever. You think I look tired now? Let's see what I look like this time next week. But for now, I'm going to go and leave you to it. All right, you take care. Bye.